Severe and Benning in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app. Here are Michael Severe and Damon Benning.
71-62, inbound into Lambert. UCLA is not going to foul. The Texas Longhorns have come 80 miles down the road and have come up with the biggest win in 2 or 3 years. The final score tonight, the Texas Longhorns 71, the UCLA Bruins 62. The Longhorns are headed for the Sweet 16 right back here in the Alamo Dome.
As our boy Craig Way putting in work, calling Texas women's basketball. Severe and Benny reminds you for halftime to drive sober or get pulled over. A safety message from our halftime sponsor. If you want to find any parts of the first 2 hours of the show, go to 1620thezone.com. Check out the Severe and Benning radio replay page, and right there you will find everything that happened in the first 2 hours of the show. Here's the study. Researchers talked to 120 women between the ages of 21 and 40. They showed a picture of a guy behind the wheel of a luxury car. Then they showed a similar picture, same guy, except he was inside a Ford Fiesta. Most of the women rated the guy's personal attractiveness higher when he was seated inside the pricier car.
Do they know it was the same guy?
Yeah.
So they're admitting they're shallow?
Well, they kind of changed the look of the guy a little bit, like put a hat on him a little bit.
I was going to say, because, well, that's not fair, though.
They showed him in this car, then they showed him in this car, and it's like,
if you...
I don't know. He looks better because he's in that car.
Now, the sunglasses thing is real, but there are plenty of good-looking guys that drive buckets.
Just saying that the women don't think they're as attractive.
But don't you
because they're driving a bucket.
No, I hear you. Yeah. That's embarrassing because you're kind of admitting.
Most people are shallow, Damon.
Man, I'll punch you right in the left earlobe.
Most people are shallow when it comes to looks and stuff. That's what America's all about.
Because of a Casey mic drop?
What just happened there?
He heard me say it's not fair, so he played Kansas City Mike.
Oh, that's what that is? Yeah. I have no idea. I couldn't understand what he was saying at first.
Hey, but listen.
Oh, but quickly, they reversed the experiment, did it the exact same way. Men showed no preference to the look of a woman based off the car she's in.
Well, that's because if a woman drives a nice car, we're probably afraid to talk to her.
Or even if she's driving a bad car, it doesn't matter. It's still a woman.
But if you really want it to be like objective, you have to give them the same look.
Yeah.
You can't change the way they look.
I don't think they changed it that much. Just, you make sure you comb their hair a little bit differently just to be able to do it. But they put them inside it says here, a battered Ford Fiesta behind the wheel of a luxury car. So I don't know what kind of car. Were they behind the wheel of a Rolls?
Do I look different? Would I look different in my Escalade versus my Mary Kay loaner car?
If you were in a Miata compared to being in a Jeep, I think women would judge you differently.
Huh.
You're in a little Miata, a little yellow Miata. Beep, beep. Ciao.
I borrowed my partner's wife's Mary Kay car. I said, hey, I got to run an errand. Is it pink? Yeah.
Nice. What's the car you left all your gear in and
my
put
Escort?
It out the back window?
My Escort? Ford Escort.
Did you have a hatchback one?
Yeah, Smurf Blue.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's about
the
same.
One that Mrs. Lee's take us to games in the back of her Escort. Let's play buy or sell. Now, Tuesday, because of everything happening coming off of Creighton's historic win to get to the Sweet 16, we didn't do our pick one. But today we are doing buy or sell. It's not pick one. Buy or sell. We didn't get to pick one on Tuesday, which is a Tuesday.
Shane is wild
we do that
right
on
now.
Tuesday.
What is wrong with him?
This is buy or sell. Are you ready?
He took what you had.
Yeah.
Early.
Right.
Did you leave some in the cup?
I did not. I did not give him anything.
Hey, Shane ain't drinking after you anyway.
No. Shane don't touch anything. Anybody else touches. Here we go. Ready? Buy or sell. I don't know if you buy or sell this.
Okay.
Rondell Moore succeeding in the NFL at 5'7".
Buy.
Okay. Trey Lance.
What's his height have to do with it?
There's just this limit to where if you're playing wide receiver in the league at a certain height, usually you're not successful.
Tell that to Tyreek Hill.
Well, he's 5'10".
Okay.
It's funny. The first legitimate wide receiver to really be under the height of 6 foot to get drafted was?
Darren Sproles.
To get drafted as a wide receiver.
Darren Sproles.
He wasn't a wide receiver.
More receiving yards than rushing yards.
He's not a wide receiver. He was a ref as a running back. It was actually Johnny Rodgers.
All right then, JR.
Yep, it was actually Johnny Rodgers.
I bet.
And then you know who was
Johnny
next?
Rodgers looks
you know who
good
was
in
next
his car?
height-wise after
What?
that? In terms of Tavon Austin.
Where is he?
Yeah, that's exactly. That's some of the guys they compare, they worry about in terms of his size.
Yeah, well, guess what? Tavon Austin was always hurt.
Gotta love
Now,
the short
it's
ones.
not like Rondale Moore's track record is.
For injury-wise, you mean?
Yeah, but I don't think Rondale Moore was really interested in laying it on the line for Purdue.
In college, yeah. What about Trey Lance? Do you buy that? He's got 17 career starts in college.
So what do I have to
Buy or sell?
That he's going to be good?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is that like a 500 record or?
I'd say, be a decent starter in the league. When we go back and look at this quarterback class, will you say, oh, yeah, that was a good one? Or will you go, he was one of the half that didn't work out?
Because of that NDSU culture,
Mm-hmm.
they don't make a ton of mistakes. Buy
or sell DiCaprio Boodle being drafted.
Oh, good one.
One career interception. Just something I think that kind of stands out on his resume.
Sell.
Landon Dickerson still being a first-round pick despite coming off an ACL.
He's going to be in the second round. Sell.
Yeah, without that ACL, he would definitely have been a first-rounder.
Yep.
Buy or sell more than $50,000 at the Husker spring game.
I'm going to sell, but would not surprise me.
Yeah, would not surprise you. Not at all.
But I'll sell.
Yeah, we're still a month and a week away from it. And as we said, doing a lot of work. We're moving closer to it. Do you buy or sell Andy Dalton as QB1 for the Bears? I mean, they tweeted it, but the last time they did that.
I saw that QB1.
And the last time they did that, they ended up drafting a quarterback, and the guy they said, Glennon, would be number one, wasn't.
I'm going to sell.
Sell it. Buy or sell Creighton plus 13.5.
Definitely buying. That's a good number. I liked it when I first saw it.
Biggest line in the Sweet 16 since Kentucky played West Virginia. That was the Kentucky team in 2014. That was 37-0. They beat West Virginia 78-39. On the other side of that, the last 13-point favorite in the Sweet 16 was Duke against Indiana. Duke in 2002 was 31-3, coming off of a national championship, 13-point favorite, lost to Indiana. Those are your two other biggest lines.
Yeah, I'm buying
in
that.
the Sweet 16.
Like I would just be a spectator, but I would not. This is going to sound crazy. I would not bet Gonzaga.
Here's the crazy part about it. Oklahoma shot 50% from the field.
I know, but did you
and
see?
Played well.
They had about a 4-minute stretch where that game got away from them.
And that's what happens to Creighton occasionally.
Yeah,
in games.
I mean, I get
it's so scary, man.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I am all in on Gonzaga.
The money, by the way,
and
total
I watch
is on
them
a total.
and I watch them a ton.
Yeah,
right?
The money's on the total. It's been going up. I think 157 is where it started. It's up to like 158 and a half.
By the way, how about some folks thinking that Creighton has the better Nimhart?
What do you mean by that?
Their recruit, who's his little brother.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Of the two.
Huh. Is he the fifth best player on that Gonzaga team?
Maybe.
Saying something. 6? That says something, man. Baylor and Gonzaga are 1984 deep.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that kind of depth.
They run 8 guys at you without blinking, and it doesn't matter.
And that's old school. Buying or selling, if you have to pay for it, Tyson Holyfield 3.
Selling.
So, me too.
If I wouldn't have seen the fiasco of Roy Jones and Tyson, I just
don't want to see Holyfield fight anymore.
Me neither.
I just don't want to see that.
Well, he appears to be fairly lucid.
I just don't want to see him do it anymore.
Hey, that's my guy, man.
Buying or selling a repeat of the first time Miocic faced Ngannou. Buy or sell another unanimous decision for Stipe.
Boy, he touched Ngannou a ton.
200 times.
What's the line?
Oh, I don't know. I think, wasn't that like, I don't know that.
Miocic is so good. I always want to sell him short because it seems like he has other interests.
He does.
You know, he's got a tough job. You know, he appears to be good at home.
Definitely.
He looks just like Joel Schaefer.
It's minus 102 versus minus 120. Ngannou is the favorite.
Yeah, I was going to say sell. I'm selling.
He's the favorite.
I'm selling.
Method of victory. You can get Ngannou by knockout at plus 100. It's plus 210 for Stipe.
Yeah, I'm selling. You're not going to see that.
Fight
Stipe
goes the distance. Minus 480 for no.
It's not going the distance.
Yep. Oh, interesting. You can get 1.5 is your ring total.
Stipe will have to be in fantastic shape, which he normally is.
Yep.
And he has got to use his jab.
Mm-hmm.
Use the one that he found that he was putting in Cormier's sternum from the third round on in that second fight.
Richard Sherman, buy or sell, still being worth it.
Well, you're the one that's going to have to.
He's not going to the Saints.
I'm going to go with worth what?
Worth signing.
Oh, buy.
Okay, because he's got two different.
The problem is what he wants.
Yeah,
that's his problem.
Buying or selling Ndamukong Suh as the best college football defender since 1998, or Ed Reed. Those are the top two recently done by Bill Connolly. Put out the top 100 defenders since basically 1998.
Has nothing to do with the fact he played at Nebraska, but he impacted the game more on a much less talented team. Give me Suh by just a hair because I'm Team Ed Reed.
Here's your top 5. Suh, Ed Reed.
Woodson has to be in there.
Terrell Suggs. I'm too far back. 97.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Suh, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald. Now, two of these guys, Suh and Aaron Donald, I voted.
Donald was fantastic.
I voted 1 for the Heisman, the other one 3 for the Heisman.
I would take Donald after that.
Yeah, he'd be third after Reed.
Donald was the only guy that I said in the last, I think, 8 drafts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, there's 2. Quentin Nelson, Donald, and one can't stay healthy. But Derwin James, I said, was can't miss. So it was Donald, Quentin Nelson, and Derwin James.
The other one I had was Josh Allen. Those are the 3 defensive players that I have given one of my votes to for the Heisman since I got it.
I need Derwin James to stay healthy, but when he plays, he's unreal.
Buy or sell, we just mentioned this. Gonzaga over the field for the national championship.
I'm taking Gonzaga.
Buying. And then lastly, Loyola Chicago to the Final Four. Buy or sell?
Sell.
So in terms of that region.
Although it could happen.
Here's the region.
I'm selling.
Houston is basically even money. Loyola Chicago, 8-5. Then it goes Syracuse 6-1, Oregon State 8-1. Overall, that is by far the tightest region. They make it seem like almost anybody can come out of that region. I mean, compared to what Baylor is, Baylor and Arkansas are your 2 biggest favorites in the South. Gonzaga, by far the favorite to win in the West. And then in the East, Michigan and Bama are close.
Midwest is a mess.
Yeah, they're close.
From the Midwest. And people don't love Houston.
Right. And some people believe that the matchup with Houston and Syracuse is the tough part.
Okay, so
like who has the easier path?
Let me ask you this though.
Mm-hmm.
If Houston beats Syracuse,
right,
can Loyola out Houston?
Yeah, see, that's the key. I think the reason why these odds are the way they are is because they are thinking, yes, Houston will beat Syracuse. But the problem is don't you think Houston has the harder path beating Syracuse opposed to Chicago beating Oregon State?
No question.
Right. So it could end up being
I'm telling you, though.
That line went down, by the way.
This isn't going to sound right, but don't sleep on Tinkle.
I'm not.
They play hard.
I'm not at all. So here's his great. 2 teams so far in the Sweet 16 have done something that's very rare.
Cut that up.
Tinkle. 2 teams done something very rare. Oregon State and Oral Roberts won their first 2 games in the tournament outright as 6 or more dogs.
Getting 6?
Getting
or the
6
seed?
or more.
Okay,
No, getting
okay,
6.
I hear you.
Getting
I'm
6 or more.
now.
So it's Oral Roberts and Oregon State. Now you would think to yourself, well, self, when now they're stepping up into competition, that they most likely won't be able to cover. Here's the crazy thing. In the other 8 times that's happened, 5 times the team has won outright. Nuts. Okay, Dayton is a great example of being in a situation where you were underdog 3 straight times and covered 3 straight times, didn't win the 3rd one outright. But
yeah, well, they didn't have Obi Toppin and my man Jalen Crutcher either.
Right. So that's interesting for both of them. Oregon State, if you're thinking about betting on them, not necessarily to win outright, the odds would tell you that Oregon State and Oral Roberts, based off of trends, would cover their games. Just based off of the trend.
So, I don't know, Michael.
Your MVP tournament odds, you basically have Jalen Suggs, Corey Kispert, and Drew Timme all 1, 2, 3. Gonzaga. Then Baylor.
I would. So you know what I would do? I would take Suggs, then Mitchell, then Kispert.
I think you might want to take Timme.
I like Timme.
Just because if you look at the first 2 games that
I like Timme a ton.
The games he's had.
But the bigger the stage, I'm going with the guy that has shown me all season long he has the biggest stones. Timme! Suggs is the dude in crunch time for Gonzaga. And Mitchell is the difference. I love Butler. I like Tachua. I like Macy. Mitchell's the dude.
There's only been one player in the last 20 years to have as good of shooting numbers as Corey Kispert.
Do you see who he plays with?
Do you know who it is? So he's got a true shooting percentage over 70%. You base off
in the last 20 years?
Last 20 years. And it wasn't that long ago, the last one. Wasn't that long ago. Think of a guy who got all his points at the rim.
Meet me at the rim!
Think about a guy who got all his points at the rim. And obviously Kispert doesn't get all his points at the rim, but this guy did. Just the last few years.
Meet me at the rim!
It was not Nick Baugh.
Give me the
Old Dominion.
He lost.
Give me the
Virginia.
Mama!
Give me the conference.
The AC of C.
Bagley?
He had more dunks than, I believe, shots outside of 10 feet.
Oh, Jahlil Okafor?
It was your boy Zion Williamson.
Oh, yeah.
Zion
you know what?
is the only other guy.
You know what's funny? I don't know why I had tournament in my head.
Oh, no, for the whole year.
I had, but you
year.
probably said that,
Right,
but I had like tournament in my head, and I'm like, I ain't making no deep run with Zion.
No, this is just for
the
whole year.
That makes sense though.
And he did it as a freshman,
Shoot,
obviously.
He's doing it in the NBA.
And Kispert did it as a senior, which
that
is the
dude's
difference.
2-point field goal percentage is pretty ridiculous to be playing with professionals.
D. Mitch, not related to the other D. Mitch. He's got the longest odds out of those guys. He's 16-1.
I'm telling you, man.
You can get Butler at 6-1 and Teague is at 14-1.
Maceo Teague is nice. He's the guy that I was at that I don't know if I told you this, but reads the tennis books to get his mind right before games, like to settle himself down. He's reading this this book on tennis.
Okay.
But anyway, by the way, another guy that wasn't highly recruited coming out of high school. Mitchell gets to any spot on the floor. He is so stinking good.
Right.
I don't know.
He's
man.
got the best chance to go cold because of the shots he takes. Though.
Right,
he takes the farthest away shots.
He's the Greg Louganis, man. High degree of difficulty.
You get all these other guys closer to the rim. Here's a long shot for you.
If I want to get paid though, like if I just want Shane's $10 at 16-1, man, give me D Mitch.
If you feel,
even though Suggs is the dude,
that Michigan's going to beat Florida State, right? Which is most of the nation has Michigan beating Florida State. Michigan is a team that you could take either Wagner or Dickinson.
Don't like either.
They're both 22-1,
especially against Florida State.
Against Florida,
it's gonna have to be the other guys.
See, if they beat Florida State, then in the Final Four, if they got that's the Elite Eight status.
I think don't you think? So Florida State's gonna make it real hard.
Oh yeah, the longest.
Dickinson.
It's the longest team in the tournament.
He's nice.
Yeah,
but
he's been facing a lot of size.
Yes, and length and athleticism, and they are dogs.
Dogs.
They are dogs.
We'll tell you about what's coming up tomorrow. It's a big announcement.
Little Orphan Annie
from Severe and Benning in the morning.
Will the sun come out?
Zone.